How do we get out of this realm of emotions? Firstly, choose to get out. Once there was a little girl. This little girl, she went out to play in the park. Before she went out, she went up to her mother. She said, "Mommy, can I go out to play?" So the mummy said, "All right, but you have to be neatly dressed, clean and tidy before you go out to play." So the mummy put this girl in a shower, comb her long, beautiful, wavy hair, put some flowers in her hair. In India we do that. And then put on a nice, beautiful gown on her, and then send her with a kiss out to the park to play. Now this little girl goes out into the street and she calls out her friends. "Hey, come, let's go along." So these friends all team up together and they went out. As they were playing in the park, the other friend of her seemed to push this girl too high up in the swing. And when she came back, she lost balance and she fell into the muddy sand that was in front of her. And all her beautiful clothes got soiled, got dirtied, and there were some cuts and bruises on her poor feet. Now this girl was sitting down on the mud and crying and weeping, thinking of her poor old state and all the soiled clothes and all the beautiful white skin that has now become dark and dirt. She was crying and crying, thinking of her mummy and probably thinking, "Oh mummy, please come and pick me up." But there was nobody. The mummy didn't know what was happening. After some time, what do you think the child would have done? The child thought, come to herself. Then she just picked herself up, struck away all the dirt from her clothes, and walked straight to the home. That's the first thing you do. Choose to get out. When you know that you are in the arena and you are in this realm of emotions, the number one thing you want to do or you should do to get out is decide. Choose to get out. You know, God never overrules an individual's free will moral choice. He never overrules that. When we pray for other people, sometimes we find the prayer not answered in the way that we think God should answer, or sometimes we find that the prayer is not answered identically in the same way that we expected the prayer to be answered, or sometimes we don't find the prayer answered exactly on time as we had expected it to be answered. Now there are various reasons for that. One of the reasons is, please remember this, so that you may have success in your prayer life when you intercede for others. When you pray, it is your will praying for that person unto God. Remember, you are not substituting your will for that person's will. And you cannot bring that person's will to God. He has to decide. That's why sometimes prayer for other people take a little longer time, because that person's will must come in line with your will. That is why it is written in Matthew chapter 18 and the verse 19, "If two of you shall agree as touching upon anything in my name, it shall be done of my Father in heaven." See, two of us must agree. If he doesn't agree and I agree, then I am praying. First I have to pray that he agrees with me. You know, that takes some time. And then when I get him to agree with me, then we pray our petition. You understand that? That's how it works. If God had a choice Sometimes we pray, oh Lord, you go and do this for brother X, you go and do that for sister X. Please, we pray that brother X will come to know you. Please, we pray. When you pray for others, have you ever thought to realize, if God had his way, do you think Eve would have sinned? No. Even before she puts out her hand, he would have come and stopped her from doing that, if he had his way. But you have to choose to do it. You have to choose to walk in his commandments. You have to choose to love him. You will have to choose to come to know him further. He's not going to pull you by your ear and say, come and do it. No, he doesn't do that. If he does that, then he is not any different from the witch doctors in Africa. The zombies that they make out to be. We would all just turn out to be zombies. And he will have a little figurine of ourselves and just turn our right arm here and you put out your right arm there, or poke a needle here so that we will have some kind of sickness on our body. No. God is not like that, because he made us to be in his own image and his own likeness, to act like him. Now, that ability to choose to do right and wrong, to be like God, has been exploited by the enemy for a destructive, flashy purpose. So that now you are not in the God-conscious, God-state, Spirit-filled state mind to know right from wrong. But now you are in the arena of emotions, not knowing which to choose, not knowing which way to get out. Probably, the insect that gets stuck in the vat, maybe just figuring out, hey, which way is out, because everywhere it turns, there will be 1,000 arms all around the vat, and 1,000 exits that it sees all around its eyes. It just doesn't know which way out, or what is God's will out. So first, you choose to want to get out. That I don't want to live in this carnal life anymore. I don't want to live this defeated life anymore. I want to walk the God kind of life. You do the choosing first. You have to decide. You have to choose to get out. Unless and until you choose, the Lord is not able to come to your aid. Someone illustrated this like this. A man was drowning in the sea, and they threw a lifesaver out to him, and this guy refused to catch this lifesaver. Can you save a drowning man? No. He has to choose to accept the lifesaver and put it around him so that he can be rescued. If he's going to be stubborn, no, I want you to come and come into the water and save me out. Of course, we are not going to go into the intricacies of life-saving techniques right now. But that's the way it goes. You choose. You choose to get out. Now, there was once two boxers fighting in a boxing ring. One guy happened to be the superior guy, and he seems to be the muscular type, and he seemed to be throwing all the punches. And the other weak guy, after the second round, he somehow came to his senses and realized, hey, I cannot take it anymore. I better do something about it. Now, if the guy doesn't do anything about it, what is going to happen? Either he is going to get defeated all the 15 rounds, that's one, or somewhere around the four guys have to come and pick him out. You know who the four guys are, don't you? The mortuary people. This guy would have been dead when he receives all the blows. Now, when the guy comes to his senses somewhere around, if he wants to stop the fight, the easiest thing for him to do is get out of the ring. Why stay in the ring? If you know you can't throw the punches in this ring, get out. Decide to get out. Choose.